This is Brooklyn, a 6-year-old girl who is unable to talk or use hand movements to communicate. This is because she suffers from Rett syndrome, also known as RTS, which is a rare, non-inherited genetic, neurological, and developmental disorder that affects the way the brain develops. This causes progressive inability to use muscles for eye and body movements, including speech.
Can you look at the color green? Which one's the color green?
Symptoms of Rett syndrome include slowed growth, loss of normal movement and coordination, abnormal spine curvature, loss of communication ability, unusual eye movements, cognitive disabilities, breathing problems, and seizures. There is currently no cure for the disorder, but medications, physical and speech therapy, and nutritional support can help manage symptoms, prevent complications, and improve quality of life. Current estimates suggest that Rett syndrome occurs in 1 out of every 10,000 to 15,000 girls born and affects 1 in 10,000 to 22,000 females in the U.S., according to the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development. Rett syndrome occurs almost exclusively in females and affects all racial and ethnic groups. Rett syndrome can usually be diagnosed within 12 to 18 months after the baby is born. In most cases of Rett syndrome, this change is in the MECP2 gene, which is located on the X chromosome. Rett syndrome patients are fertile but unlikely to have children. If they do, however, it is unlikely that they will pass the disorder down because Rett syndrome is a non-inherited disorder. Less than 1% of recorded cases of Rett syndrome are inherited or passed down from one generation to the next. Classic Rett syndrome and some variant forms of the condition are caused by mutations in the MECP2 gene. This gene provides instructions for making proteins that are critical for normal brain function. Although the exact function of the MECP2 protein is unclear, it is likely involved in maintaining connection synapses between nerve cells or neurons. Since Rett syndrome is tied to the genes on the X chromosome, it is classified as an X-linked genetic disorder. Rett syndrome is sex-linked because it is directly linked to the mutation of genes on the X chromosome. This Punnett square demonstrates the probability of the inheritance of Rett syndrome from a female carrier and a normal male. Boys only have one X chromosome in every cell. They lack the extra X chromosome that can protect their bodies from being completely overcome by the disorder. Therefore, boys with the cell mutation that causes Rett syndrome often die before or shortly after birth. This is why Rett syndrome only affects girls.